Okay, I'm going to call to order this Thursday, November 18th, 2021 meeting of the Springfield Historic Commission. Commissioners Walsh, Belton, Mcfarland, and Walter Kroll are present. Any others? In order to enable municipal government to continue its important work during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Should I hit this box that says me, Claudia Gamache?
Yes. I think so.
No, I didn't hear it again.
All right,
If all petitioners can please mute your mic.
I can see that.
Claudia, you do have to hit the mute button there, please.
real quick. That way.
There you go.
I muted them.
Oh, you got that one. Keep an eye on them so I can get through this little recitation here.
All right.
Okay, anyway, in order to enable municipal government to continue its important work during the COVID-19 pandemic while assuring both city employees and citizens can satisfy CDC social distancing guidelines, City of Springfield is providing public notice that it will conduct a public hearing utilizing remote technology. Copies of said petitions, texts, and maps will be requested by email or phone. Emails should be directed to the Office of Planning and Economic Development at aallen@springfieldcityhall.com or by calling 413-787-6020. To view the public hearing, it's recorded and replayed on Focus Springfield Community TV website. Public comment will be taken in two segments. The first public comment period will take place prior to the meeting discussion. The second public comment period will take place after the meeting, remain open for 24 hours after the meeting. To provide for public commentary in writing, mail Springfield Historic Commission, 70 Tapley Street in Springfield, 01104, or email aallen@springfieldcityhall.com. And to provide for public comment by voicemail, 413-750-3223. Messages received will be played at the Historic Commission hearing or at the continued hearing date. All commenters should state their name, address, and company or organizational affiliation in addition to the items their comments pertain to. Voice messages received 24 hours before the hearing will be put into the record during the public hearing, and comments after the meeting will be entered at the continued date for the hearing. Voice messages are limited to 2 minutes. To request a reasonable accommodation and/or language service, please call 413-787-6020. And just a reminder to all the petitioners, please give your name and your address when you begin to speak regarding your petition. Okay, commissioners, can all the commissioners, Thomas, can you hear me? Commissioner Belton, are you with us? Commissioner Kroll, give me a wave. Yeah, you're muted.
I'm here.
I know. And Commissioner Mcfarland?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I haven't heard from Commissioner Belton.
I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Okay, now I can start, Tom. Didn't want to start without you.
Okay.
All right, first is the continued hearings, 127, 129 Piney Woods Avenue installation of vent covers. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness at 127, 129 Piney Woods Ave to install vent fans in the first and second floor bathrooms. They should vent to the outside through the nearest siding, which is facing Furglade Street. Is the petitioner with us? Darcy, do I see your name?
Yes,
Oh, there
that's
you
me.
are.
Hi.
Okay. Is there anything else that you need to add or would like to add?
Nope.
Okay, was there any public commentary? Alvin?
No, we don't have anything for this particular matter.
Nothing? Are there any commissioners that would like to have any questions of the petitioner? Okay, here none. I would entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate appropriateness at 127, 129 Piney Woods to install vent fans on the first and second floor.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thanks. Discussion on the motion? Okay, well, I have a little bit then. I'm concerned about the color, and I was just looking through this and I didn't see if there was a color here or not.
I did not put a color on there, but I can match the paint that is on there already.
Okay, so the motion would be that to accept the application to install the vents with the color matching the exterior of the property.
Yes, yeah, I can add that.
Okay, no, that's good. Is there any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me just call the vote. Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Commissioner Belton,
yes,
Commissioner McFarland,
yes,
and Commissioner Kroll.
Yes.
Okay, that was an easy one. You're all set for that?
Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you for your time. All right, the next is 46 Randolph. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness, 46 Randolph Street, removing windows that have been previously replaced, installing new windows of the same specifications in their place. Is the petitioner here? Let me see quick. Is the petitioner here for Randolph Street? I don't see him.
I'll give him a call. We can skip this matter.
Yeah, I'll just put it aside for now. Move to 120 Clarendon Street. Application for certificate of appropriateness at 120 Clarendon Street to construct a 30 by 34-foot two-story addition to the rear existing garage as shown in the attached plans. First level will have brick facing, while the second floor will be sided with cedar shingles. Okay, for the petitioners on for this one. Is Stephen Gray with us?
Stephen Gray is on his way. I'm able to speak to the email I sent.
Okay, the email you're referring to is the dated the 29th? Or is that, if you have a newer email than that?
I believe I sent an email yesterday dated, which should have been dated the 17th, which basically conveyed to the commission several photographs of carriage houses around the McKnight neighborhood, including one two-story building that was approved by the commission to be built on Florida Street.
Okay. All right, is there, Alvin, did we get an email addition to this 120 Clarendon Street?
I believe Mr. Gaby sent more information. I believe I forwarded to everyone.
Yeah, because I just walked in at 5. I don't have anything printed out. Is that something that we need to read into the record?
Nothing you need to read
As
into the
public
record, but-
commentary? No?
Oh, no, there's no commentary, no.
No commentary. Oh, okay.
If you need me to share a screen for any information that Mr. Gaby has submitted, I can do that.
Yeah, if you would, please. And Mr. Gray is going to be here or no?
Mr. Gray is on his way from what he told me a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Something came up at Clarendon Street, he had to go over there.
Do we have, sure, we're on with them at the last meeting, so, okay. What do you have, Alvin? Were you going to put something up?
Searching for it,
Oh, okay.
unless Mr. Gaby.
Is this, okay, so David, can you just, were there changes that you were suggesting?
I have not made any changes to the drawings. We did discuss, and we are willing to include adding brick face to the existing garage, I would be happy to do some
Okay.
further design work, but the entire principle, the proposition that a building of that sort was not appropriate to the neighborhood in association with these houses is what I addressed in the email. And it's my proposition through the email that that there are a number of similar carriage houses throughout the McKnight neighborhood, and that they were an inherent part of the development of the residential community.
Right, I think part of the problem was that the original, that other garage, which is not really similar in any way to a carriage house, was going to remain. And would the question I asked a couple of weeks ago was how did that fit with like zoning and what have you? Because I know that they had a restriction on size, but it's not, I mean, there's the two different issues here is whether you can build that and attach it to an already existing garage that doesn't really fit. But I'm not sure where we are with that. Did we find anything out about that?
So Commissioner Walsh, I explored with the building department, and the footprint of the proposed structure would be larger than what's allowed. What's allowed is 1,000 square feet of a ground space. With this addition, and you know, along with the existing garage, it would be somewhere about 1,600 square feet.
Oh my, that much different. Okay.
So therefore, they would require a zoning variance. So that's not really within your guys' purview. It's really the design of the structure. But if you guys do decide to approve the matter, it would, you know, be with the, you know, language that, you know, in conjunction with, you know, some sort of approval by the zoning board of appeals.
Right, and I, you know, in general, I don't have a problem with the new structure. It just, David, it just doesn't, I'm having a problem keeping that other garage, which is not, you know, a garage suited.
I had, pardon me, Mr. Walsh. I had done some designs for Steve. He's here now.
I can't, you're very fuzzy to me, but go ahead.
Steven is here now. Mr. Gray is now here.
Okay,
Say hi. Hello.
how you doing? Good.
Okay. I had made some sketches for a building that would effectively be a unified carriage house, including the space where the garage now is. But Mr. Gray was not comfortable going that far. You'd have to ask him if he's willing to discuss that. To include the existing garage and make it all one like carriage house.
Well, that's not, I mean, if it's subject to a variance anyways, I might suggest that you find out what you can actually build there and then come back and ask us to approve something, as opposed to us approving something that you don't even know if you can build it yet.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like that you wouldn't be able to get an approval for it anyways, because of the square footage of the two buildings together is more than is allowable. So you'd have to make some.
We feel it would certainly require a variance.
I know. Well, I am not, in general, I'm not comfortable approving while I, you know, the drawing, the renderings that you gave us of what the new part would look like. You know, you know, just attaching that to the old garage. I don't know that I can approve that.
Can I speak?
Go-
Can you hear me speaking?
Yes, I can. It's just very fuzzy. I'm having a hard time understanding you, but go ahead slowly if you could.
What I am saying is, I have a carriage barn at 57 Bowdoin Street. And it had two flankers, okay? The sheds that went off, one was taken off in 1938, and I went through the historical and got permission, and I put the one back the way it is. So it shows, if you look at that barn, there are two flankers on it. Okay, the roofs are sloped. That's the only difference that would be. Can you hear me?
I can, but I'm not sure what the comparison is. You have a garage that's not historically appropriate at all in existence right now, and you're going to want to build a carriage house, which looks like it could be with the particular details. I'm not sure what that has to do with the other one.
Commissioner Walsh, to compare it to another, carriage house or garage on another lot, I mean, another lot could have a carriage house that just happens to be grandfathered in.
I understand. I'm just saying, I don't see that there's any comparison between the two. I mean, it's not an old garage. It's not a historical garage in any manner. It's not something you can refer back to 1938 and maybe you want to recreate something from that. Any other commissioners want to jump in here, please?
What I was saying,
Go ahead, Dave. Or Stephen, whoever.
what I was saying is that we would modify that existing garage to fit in with the structure. Okay,
Okay.
Need the proposed.
yes.
Okay, if you could, and I apologize for this because you're not going to like it too much, but I would like to ask you to resubmit what would be different. I don't want to try and parse it here where we don't have pictures of what you're thinking and we don't have an idea that we can actually vote on we would want the renderings anyways. I'd be happy to continue this hearing again. If you want to add some, a different design to the application. And then if
We can do that.
we can do that?
Yes. I thought we
Okay.
had.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to continue. Let me just check our dates here. This is filed on 10/21/11. Okay, so we've got another meeting. Actually, I think there's two meetings before we'd have to take a different tack. But I'd entertain a motion to continue this 120 Clarendon Street to the meeting on December 2nd.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second on that?
Second.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me call the vote. Commissioner Belton,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes to continue to the 2nd. Okay. Just bring it, give us the best renderings you can. That's the only way we're going to be able to decide whether it's something that we could approve of ahead of time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is the Randolph people here? Bob Cooper, are you here?
I spoke with the homeowner. He can't make the meeting, so we'll have to continue that till December 2nd.
All right, well, let me if somebody make a motion to continue the application for certificate appropriate at 46 Randolph Street to the December 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Let me call the vote. There's no discussion on that, correct? Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes, Commissioner Belton.
Yes.
Okay, to continue. Okay. Okay, next is this is a 360 Maple Street, an application for certificate of appropriateness. Are the petitioners for Maple Street with us?
I'm present.
Excellent. Okay, this is the replace the front door, relocate mechanical vents, repair trim siding, remove this line and conduit, infill existing non-original fixed windows with fixed barn doors to match original barn doors, remove existing non-original single pane quilted group of windows, fix original barn door, build and install missing decorative bracket, remove existing non-original fixed windows, partially infill openings, and other things. Rebuild existing wood deck, extend to cover entire roofed area, remove existing barn door and transom to deck, replace with larger glass sliding fixed windows. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think we went over it pretty well last time. I think you understood.
And your renderings are pretty good, but
Oh, thank you very much.
but I sometimes forget details, so I'm
Sure.
kind of
Any
looking-
questions? I'm happy to.
Yeah, so commissioners, any questions for the petitioner? Wow. Guys are very quiet today. Okay, if there's no further questions of the petitioner, is there any public commentary up? Nothing? Okay. Then I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 360 Maple Street for the replacement of the, I could read through that whole thing again, replacement of the front door, relocate mechanical vents, repair, but the application as presented and the
Yep.
renderings as presented. Is there a motion for that on Maple Street?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Belton,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes.
Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you.
You made it easy. It was well thought out.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's right.
It made it a lot easier for us to see it. So nicely done.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Next is 132 Glade. Is Mrs. Gamache on with us? Claudia, I see you there. Okay. This is an application for a certificate of hardship. Vinyl siding to the back and sides in front of 1/3 left side remain unchanged. At 132 Glade. Are you with us, Mrs. Gamache? I can see you here, but if you could unmute so you could talk to us.
There we go. Okay. I'm unmuted, but I can't get my picture up, but I'm here.
That's okay. That's okay. How are you doing this evening?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. This is an application for certificate of hardship. And I went in, I did a site visit on the property for you other commissioners. And, you know, the house, you can see that the whole front has been redone in porches when she explained that they'd had a fire there. And this is what I found, that the siding, the wood siding existing isn't compared to very many more, and it's in really good shape. There are some repairs that need to be made, but I didn't find that there was I'm using the word structural, but might not be the right word, like a deficiency that would warrant a hardship. And I know it's scraping and painting the property again. It's going to be the option, but I don't see that it qualifies for a hardship in order to do this. If the petitioner would like to add anything, Mrs. Camacho, if you want to add anything, please do. And if there's any commissioners that would like to ask her questions, please do that as well.
All right, we did try, if you noticed on the right side of the building, to scrape and paint at one point. And it didn't even last a season. It started peeling off. I have been told that the wood is not in good enough shape to accept paint anymore. So that's my problem. I mean, if I could just slap a coat of paint on there, I'd be thrilled.
Well, I think that, and as you know, we talked at the house for a few minutes the
Mhm.
other day. I was pleasantly surprised from a historic point of view at the condition of the siding of the house. Now, you have a couple of the trim pieces that are clearly need to be replaced,
Mhm.
and a couple of pieces of siding of the cedar that probably need to be replaced as well. But I don't find, in my opinion, other commissioners can certainly jump in here. I don't find that it meets the hardship criteria. But it does seem that, if I think that you would want to certainly get other opinions on what preparation would be needed for that wood in order to that the paint stick, because most of it is in really good shape, and I know you got your work cut out for you, and I know that. But the house would be really beautiful if you get the right person who can prep that wood properly and paint it for you. Are there any questions from commissioners? Did anybody else at least drive by and kind of take a peek? Go ahead, Commissioner Kroll.
Yeah, I did, and I would just share with you, ma'am, one of the recommendations would be to try and get 3 different people to look at that, and I would look for somebody that actually is more of a painter contractor than a sider or window guy. Personally, what I found with Victorians that I've done in my own is it is all in the prep. The priming is the key. Anytime I've tried to paint on wood, it peels. You'll get a seasoned baby. And if you don't prime, you're done. And everybody prices and does work differently, but I would encourage you to get 3 different bids from people that are primarily painters and carpenters. And stay away from the people that do siding and windows, because everybody likes what they like. And then they kind of do the other things because they have to, but not because they want to.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions or comments? Was there any public commentary, Alvin? No? Okay. Well, if there's nothing else anybody would like to add, I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship at 130, 132 Furglade Avenue regarding the vinyl siding to the back and the sides of the property.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, let me call the vote. Commissioner Kroll,
No.
Commissioner McFarland,
No.
Commissioner Belton,
No.
and Commissioner Walsh is no. Mrs. Camacho, I know you have your work cut out for you. Good luck on finding somebody that knows how to handle that properly, because that properly will be beautiful again.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
All
what's
right.
next? Thank you for coming.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, I want to get back on Zoom.
Whoops, what happened here? Okay. Mrs. Camacho, if you could mute yourself, you're welcome to stay on the meeting if you'd like, but if you could mute yourself, that would be great.
Okay.
Next is 160 20 Sumner Avenue, which is an application for certificate of appropriateness to remove rotten old door assembly and replace with new vinyl window to match rest of the existing windows in the building. The porches were removed, doors rotten with severe weather loss. If this is a multi-unit, a large multi-unit, they did give us some renderings and some pictures of what would be changed. Is someone representing the building with us?
Yes, hello, Commissioner Walsh. I'm Taryn. I'm the property manager at Ironsides Property Group. Thank you, Commission, for hearing me today.
Thank you for coming. Is there any changes in the application or anything else you'd want to just refresh our memory on or tell us about before we move forward?
No, not really. I will say that in some of the pictures, we noticed that the framing that we're using for the windows does need to be painted to match. That is something that we will make sure to do with the remaining windows and go back and repair those ones as well.
Okay, all right, well, we like that, I like that. Okay, let's see. I had a question, if I could find it, it would be good. So the windows, you gotta refresh me a little bit here, I made a note there last week, but I can't find it. The windows that are in there were already replaced at one time. Yes.
For the porches, no,
Yeah.
but the other windows in the building, yes.
Okay, and these new windows going in are gonna match the,
The ones on the side that you don't see directly from the street.
okay. Yeah, I've kind of lost exactly what was going on here, because you said here, remove the rotten old door assemblies, and you had circled a couple that had door assemblies still. And then
Yes,
there's some where the door assembly's been already gone.
yes,
And that's what you're gonna do with the other ones.
yes.
Okay. Any
The reason
commissioners
it
have-
wasn't
Yep.
beneficial to install another door and do the same exact as it was before is because of how bad the framing was, the existing framing. We would have had to probably go into the brick of the building to rebuild all of that, and it wouldn't have been,
Okay.
would have opened a bigger can of worms maybe.
So
So,
the front, so these front facings will all be uniform now.
yes,
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Commissioner Walsh, just for clarification, so they were given a stop work order because they already had went ahead with work to remove doors that were previously windows.
Okay, so the two that were done, or was why they get to stop working.
yes,
Yes, and basically they want to continue with removing the I guess the doors that are left with new windows.
Okay,
thank you for clarifying that out.
yeah, that's kind of what I was after right there.
Yes.
Do any commissioners have you seen the pictures? Do you have any questions or for the petitioner? None? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 1620 Sumner Avenue to remove the
Four yeses.
rotten door assembly, replaced with new vinyl windows to match rest of the existing windows in the building porches. Okay, that's that. In that they be painted the appropriate matching color.
Yes,
Okay.
So moved.
Second on that motion. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Brian.
thank you.
Any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Kroll, what do you think? Do anything to discuss? If no, I'm going to call the vote.
So vote.
Okay, Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Commissioner Belton,
yes,
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
and Commissioner Kroll.
Yes.
Okay. Made that one easier. All right. You're all set.
All right, so we can proceed with the work.
You can proceed with the work. If anything changes from what you have said, you do have to come back. If you find you're going to do something
Yes.
that doesn't fit that, you got to come back.
Yep, absolutely. All right,
Okay.
thank you so much, Commission. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Commissioner Walsh, just for clarification, again, you stated appropriate window color.
Well, matching to the other colors I meant there. There's already a color there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it,
Yeah, well, stay on with us,
Yep.
Taryn, just so we can clarify this color. Did I miss something? Go ahead, jump in there, Alvin, please.
So the side light windows are white. However, the doors were a dark color. They were, I think, black.
Okay, well, let me toss it back to the petitioner. What color were you suggesting?
so we're gonna make everything uniform to be painted white because we can't replace the door with a matching door. We're gonna make everything match like any framing that we have to reinstall, the wood will make sure we're matching the siding of the windows with the white paint.
Okay, so on all the other windows in this big building are it's white framing?
Yes,
So the only ones that have this yellow framing are the front?
yes.
Okay, all right. It's okay with me, Alvin. Is there something you thinking?
Nope, I just want to be clear on what I'm going to put on the approval
Okay.
certificate.
All right, okay. I mean, if all those other windows are white, to me, it's okay if they match them. All right. You got it. Okay, thank you. All right, next, we're going to move to the new public hearings. And for those of you with new public hearings, we do not vote today. We have the initial hearing, and then they are subject to public commentary, and then the vote will happen at the December 2nd meeting. So for new ones, we have 123, 125 Mulberry Street. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness to repair glass in the front door to original, repair and repaint front door to original condition, replace 33 windows using techniques and materials to recreate original aesthetic, replace membrane, whatever that says, roofing, replace and repair sections of the main structure roofing, repoint chimney to original condition. Okay, who would like to, is Mr. McCoy here?
I'm William Brock from the City of Springfield Disaster Recovery Office. Our office is going to be administering this project under the Healthy Homes Program.
Okay,
Jasper McCoy is also on the call with me as well.
okay, then fill us in.
Great. So just a little background on the Healthy Homes Program. It was established through the National Disaster Resilience Competition, basically to create a more resilient and weatherproof structure after the tornadoes. Our goal is to bring homes up to the minimum human habitation standards on the state level, and then minimum housing quality standards on the federal level. Just to clarify, Commissioner, the 33 windows was actually a typo. It's a total of 63 windows.
Okay,
But just after that clarification, thank you so much for your time and entertaining this proposal. As you read, we plan on repointing the chimneys that have failing and crumbling mortar by just replacing the mortar to original state. We also propose to repair the front doors and the broken glass in the front door window panes, but keeping the same structure and same materials. And we've also, for the windows, included a brochure that has previously been approved by the commission that I'm actually using the same windows on the 128, 130 project that's ongoing at the moment as well.
okay.
A list of the window types has been attached. We plan to include the grid patterns on the exterior of the windows as well. And anything on the exterior, we are planning on matching materials to the original state.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions from commissioners? Go ahead, Tom. Did you have a question?
No.
No, okay. Okay, so we have some pictures here. You have the roof you're just replacing with what's already there.
Yes, so we'd be replacing the EPDM membrane roofing over the porch, and then approximately 20 squares of asphalt roofing to match the existing roof on the main roof.
Okay,
So 20 squares would be approximately 200 square feet, I believe.
okay. Now, existing porch stairs in the rear of the building, old, starting to fail. Are those the back porch, is that visible from a public way?
So the 125 Mulberry side, that rear porch entryway actually leads into the kitchen, and that is visible from the street, but the 123 Mulberry side is not visible from the street. Currently, it is not up to code. It's too steep, so we would need to create less of a grade on that staircase.
Okay, well, I'm just looking at I'm just looking to if there are things that really we didn't have to be concerned with.
I just, to be on the safe side, included everything that was on the exterior, just so that we had full disclosure on everything.
No, that's good. I appreciate that. And the asphalt roofing is replacing asphalt roofing on the 20 squares.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
there's
that's
currently
just-
asphalt roofing on there.
Okay, and I'm just going through these pictures one at a time here. Existing
No
porch.
problem.
Yeah. Now, back right rear open porch, is that the one that's not visible or?
Yes, correct. That is the one that is not visible.
Okay, and then the left one is, okay. The chimney repointing. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add? In the window
Nope.
types, let me see what I have for, the windows are an approved window.
Yes, as I stated, I'm currently managing the project at 128, 130 Mulberry Street, and these are windows that have previously been approved by the commission that my predecessor proposed for that project.
Okay. Okay, any commissioners have any questions for the petitioner? Okay, hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness to the December 2nd meeting to allow for public commentary. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? We call the vote. Hearing none. Commissioner Belton,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
and Commissioner Walsh is yes to continue. Okay, we continue to allow for public commentary.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Next. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness at 47 Ridgewood Terrace. Is the commissioner with us? Let me scan the names quickly, or somebody who is here to represent.
Commissioner, this is actually another Healthy Homes project
Oh, this is
proposal
you.
of mine. Yep.
Okay, City through its Healthy Home proposing rehabilitation of the above property, proposing to replace the majority of the windows of the property, as well as many other exterior repairs. Okay, what are you doing to this one?
So, my name is William Brock again. Lawrence Davis is on the call, as well as Linda Broadwater, who are the owners of the property. This is another full home rehab. As I stated previously, our goal is to bring it up to minimum human habitation standards. The majority of the visible work to be done on this property, we would be repointing to original state all three chimneys, which would be repointing, replacing the historic brick, and then putting stucco on the outside for original state. The other renovations that we would do would be adding flashing to those said chimneys, replacing the two front columns on the front entryway, and replacing, I believe, give me 1 second to bring up the window numbers for you. And we will be replacing 89 windows throughout the property. I have included the Radiance brochure as with the previous application for windows that have been previously approved by the commission. The other aspect of work that we would be doing in the front would be masonry work to the front steps right there. Underneath the steps in the basement, they're degrading, so we would have to redo the majority of that portion of the front steps and reshore it. We would also be replacing the trim around the windows on the front because it's been exposed to the elements for a period of time and warrants replacing. All of
Okay.
this would be to the original historical state.
How quickly are you planning on moving forward on this?
Once we have historic approval or the certificate of appropriateness, I would need to put it out to bid with the contractors. I usually give the contractors a 2-week notification before we do the bid walkthrough, and then a period of 2 weeks to submit their bids afterwards.
Okay.
At which time we do a bid comparison to find the lowest bidder, and then would move to a closing contract and contractor agreement.
Okay.
So all in all, timeline would probably be about 2 months, 2.5 months from receiving the certificate of appropriateness.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because I'm going through a lot of paperwork here. And the application itself doesn't list. It just says as well as many exterior repairs. And
Excuse me, Commissioner, just, did you get the
see
memo that was
attached,
listed?
that's what I'm reading through just to make sure I have all the attachments. There's a lot of paper here, and I'm sure they're here. Let me just bear with me. Give me a minute, because I want to make sure we have the attachments that state the work.
Yeah, no problem.
If we don't, okay, here we go. I just want to make sure we have everything that states the work. That's all, because I have to get that into the record somehow here. So let me go ahead, Alvin. Were you talking or no? Was that you? No. Okay, let me back up a second. And so we have gutters and downspouts. Okay, exterior window trim that wraps the front right. Okay, careful inspect. Let's see what it's. Any change in materials or replacement hardwood along with disposal, and put same back. Okay, and so the trim's just going to be repaired and replaced. Front entry columns, fluted columns, placed with new hardwood. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that we had everything that we were talking about. I apologize for having to be this specific. Front porch chimney, hatchway, left parlor rear deck, left dining room deck, chimney caps, 2 rear attic dormers. Assess the roof structure replaces needed with all flashing trim details. Exterior window treatments, gutter identified earlier. Okay, windows, you already got that one. Rear pantry, screen door, 3 chimneys. Take down the chimney from a height of 4 feet and rear left chimney to a height of 4 feet, height of 8 feet, and then rebuild each chimney. Okay. Second floor rubber roof. Okay, exterior house and trim painting, and then slate roof repairs. Okay, I didn't, there were so many pages, I didn't catch all of that. So is there anything that I missed there that you're gonna be doing?
Just one thing to clarify, because I'm looking through the application that I turned into you, and in the spec portion of it, there is a description of a front left parlor rear deck that we found did not exist in the historical pictures, and we have removed that item of work.
Okay. All right. Any commissioners have any? No, that's you got a plan here, and sufficient detail that I hadn't read through yet. So I apologize for not being better prepared. Are there any commissioners that have questions for Mr. Brock?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead, Commissioner
With
Belton.
the extensive amount of work that's being performed, have they indicated the type of material that's going to be used to do these repairs?
In the application, it says, in several places, it says this with the same wood, hardwood. Was there any change to that, Mr. Brock? Was there any, it's all same, like kind material? You're not putting any new fake wood in there or anything?
No, we would be anything that would warrant replacement. We try to repair as much as possible, and if we need to replace it, we replace it with matching material.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Commissioner, I'm
yes,
sorry.
go ahead.
Just to interject, I think the only changes would be wood windows to vinyl, and then also wood hatchway door to I think it's is it copper? I forget. Yeah.
Yes, I apologize, Commissioner. So we would be also replacing the rear bulkhead, which is not in view, to a metal secure, I believe, bunco bulkhead.
Okay, yeah, that's I figured that would be the case. Now with the windows, and these windows are they from our accepted, the grid? I mean, I know you know what you're doing, so I'm pretty sure that these windows are gonna be approved windows with exterior grids and the grid patterns that match the historic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, Alvin, that I think I missed?
I think that's it. I think those are the only two material changes. Everything else would be the same as far as from what I can.
Okay. All right, then I would entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness to the December 2nd meeting to allow for public commentary.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, any discussion on the motion? All right, Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Commissioner Belton,
Yes,
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll.
yes.
Okay,
Thank you,
All right.
commissioners, for your time. I appreciate it.
no, thank you. All right. Next on the new hearings is 92 Furglade. Application for certificate of appropriateness to repair and rebuild the front first floor porch to be a full open porch as was original. Let's see what we have for details. Is the petitioner with us? Is the petitioner for 92 Furglade on? Lalick, Mr. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Lalick? No? Okay. 92 Furglade we'll put aside. And we'll go to 10 Cornell. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness at 10 Cornell Street. Is the petitioner here for 10 Cornell? Yes, you are. I can see you. Okay, good. Installation of solar system design attached. Okay, solar panels on these roof, solar panels. Okay, just if you can tell us about your project here.
The vendor is on as well, so.
Okay, who's the
Mark,
vendor?
Trinity Solar. I'll
Okay,
let Mark talk about it.
go ahead, Mark, fill us in, please.
So we are looking to get Mr. Demare as much of his power from solar as we could. If you look at the last design, it looks like heat signatures. We did a full detailed report on the house and found the most effective places to actually put the panel system itself. We played around with it a little bit, and this is what we determined: the left front side for the whole system, and we will have to run conduit down to the meters, just like on the other house that we did a couple weeks ago. We will paint it to the color to match the color of the house itself. And
Okay.
we will be taking, I believe, his meter out of the basement and bringing it outside as well.
Okay, and where are you proposing to put it? Is this red box?
Yep.
You're kind of indicating where it's going to be?
Yep.
Is it going to be up against the wall, kind of hidden a bit by that porch?
Yeah, yeah, yep. I think it's gonna be facing the porch, so. That's where Eversource wanted it as well. That's the least amount of conduit that we could do and the most effective place to put that as well.
Well, yeah, I understand that from Eversource's point of view. We just have to, we try to make things minimally visible.
Yes.
Or, as you know, you've been on with us before, I recognize.
Yep, we just did Bay Street, one on Bay Street.
Yeah, this, I'm not sure what kind of wall space is there, but that could be minimally visible to some extent. The panels themselves would not be. You've got the guidelines of what installation guidelines that we have relative to pitch and distance from the roof and things like that. So we have the pictures. Is there any commissioners that would like to ask any questions about this installation?
And if anybody has any concerns with the act, like the equipment doesn't take up that much space, but if anybody wants to know what it looks like, I can provide you with an address that you can drive by and see it actually up on a different house.
No, that's okay, I think. Well, shoot us an address anyways, just in case, but I'm hearing no comments from commissioners, so I would just, because we have to continue for public commentary, I would entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness at 10 Cornell Street to the December 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that second? On that motion? No. Commissioner Walsh votes yes to continue. Commissioner Belton,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll submit that. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, just give me a sec here to connect with Alvin. Alvin,
I'm sorry.
I was just asking if you were, did we hear from Ferglade?
I just called them, so I've left a message.
Okay, good. All right, thanks. We'll keep moving. Next is 245 St. James Avenue, which is an application for certificate of appropriateness. We'll need to move the utility meter to the outside of the house per utility request. The relocation is tied to a recent approval for solar installation. Okay, do we have a rendering of where it's going to go?
Yeah, this is Jake here with Earthlight. I'm trying to pull up a picture here, but
Hold on a second.
essentially, what's that?
I just said, hang on a second for me.
Yep.
Is the petitioner on as well? Is the homeowner?
Yes, he's on.
Oh, yeah,
here.
there you are. Okay. Because I'm reading this as quick as I can, but I just didn't see something that allowing Earthlight to talk in your behalf. But since you're here, that's all we need. So go ahead, just fill us in.
So yeah, we were on the past two meetings. We got approved to put
Yep.
solar up on the roof.
Yep.
We put all of the solar equipment in the back of the house.
Okay.
So you can't see it from the street.
Yeah.
Eversource then wanted us to move the meter on the outside of the house because it's currently in the basement and they don't allow that apparently. So we're coming back for approval to put the meter on the outside of the house. Now on our application, we showed it going on the north side of the exterior, but we actually want to change that to the south side of the exterior. It would be less invasive as far as underground construction goes, Eversource utility lines go, and then also less visible from the street only because of all of the vegetation, the bushes. And that's what I'm going to try and pull up for you here, picture.
Okay, well, that would be good. And if you can't pull it up here, send it to us as quick as you can, so we'll have it available for any public commentary period. Because I know you've been with us. You already know it's just we need what's minimally visible.
Yep.
And I know that if depending on where they put the meter, then the disconnect and a couple other things have to go fairly close by.
Well, we got approval to leave our solar equipment still in the back.
Yeah.
So this would just be the meter.
And then what about the disconnect? It's got to be a disconnect there too. Either way, I understand. So that's good.
Yeah, you're right. There would be a disconnect there. So
Okay.
because you can't get meter mains these days, so we would have to have a separate disconnect. So this is the south side of the house.
Okay.
We're looking at putting the meter either on this side of this window here. So it would start a couple inches above this sill here. And it would go right here, or it would go over here.
Okay, well, these people want to make sure they're never out of power, don't they?
Exactly.
That's yeah, you're well protected there. Now I can't, because of do you have a picture from the street by any chance?
I wish I took one from the street. Let me see if I could find one really quickly here.
There's a lot of vegetation between the street side and where that picture is.
Yeah.
I'm actually planning on more.
Okay. Well, I understand. I know you. I think you have the. I think you understand what we're trying to accomplish, and I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Okay, that's really all I think that's all we need to know. If you happen to have a picture from the street that you could send in the next day or so it'd be available if anybody under public commentary wanted to see it. In the meantime, I may just drive by. It's good for us to have an idea, or what I consider minimal visibility might be different than what somebody else thinks. We'll continue this, and we'll take a vote in 2 weeks. If there's nothing else anybody wants to add.
I can I share my screen again? I can.
Sure. Absolutely.
Just the Google Street View anyways.
Yeah, that might do it. I just want to have an idea. That's all.
So you can see this is the front of the house. This would, we would put the meter over on this location over
Can
here.
you go down the street a little way so we can see that from that side?
Yeah,
I figure you should get that, right? That's awesome. Okay, no, that's good.
So it would be like right back here.
Okay.
This is where the generator is located. It would be right back here.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness at 245 St. James for the installation of utility meter on the outside of the house.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, let's take the vote. Commissioner Belton? Vote. Let me go past that. Commissioner Mcfarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. Commissioner Belton again?
Yes.
To continue? Okay, thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, next. Next, we have an application for certificate of not marked off here. Okay. Is Brandy on with us? Oh, there you are.
I'm right here.
Hi, Brandy. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. All right, let me just figure out what this is supposed to be. Application for a certificate of appropriateness, hardship, or non-applicability. Replacing the existing old wood windows on the front sides of the home, possibly to the rear, with Anderson wood bright inserts with grids, grill work close to what presently exists. Okay, so you've written under hardship. Are you at the application under hardship, Brandy?
I'll be honest, I've never done one of these historic applications before.
Okay.
So I just kind of wrote why it would be a hardship if I couldn't change the windows.
Okay,
So I don't know if I was supposed to do that or not.
Okay, let me read through it then. I believe my changes are acceptable due to trying to match windows up as best as I can. However, if I'm not allowed, it will cause me hardship because my heat will be going right out my windows. Trying to make my home as energy efficient as possible. So, okay, yeah, the energy efficiency of windows isn't considered a hardship in a historic district in and of itself. Now, did you look through on the website what windows were considered acceptable to the commission by any chance? Did you?
Yeah, well, I actually have Mr. Bill Bonini on with me from Kelly Fredette that helped me pick out most of the windows and everything like that. So he could probably explain it better than me.
Good. I didn't know he was with you. Go ahead, Mr. Bonini. Please fill us in on the details here.
Good evening. We have proposed Anderson Woodwright replacement insert windows, which are maintenance-free exteriors, and they're an all-wood window with simulated divided lights and matching the grid patterns that we have existing, which in the front facade, if I remember correctly, are like 12 over 1 vertical on the lower sash. Uppers are 4 wide, 3 high, and on the sides, left side 9 over the 2 vertical, 9 light on the upper and 1 vertical bar. I think we had a Google picture that if I can figure out how to share with you.
No, I can see. I have a lot of pictures here showing me.
Oh, okay, good.
Windows, yeah. Are these external grids?
Yes, they're on the outside and on the inside, and then stainless steel spacers between the glass, so it really looks authentic.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds like, I'll have to do a little bit of research, but it sounds like you know what windows are. Obviously a wood window, you're not changing the wood frames or anything, you're just installing it in.
Right. Brandy has a brick home, and there is wood trim around the existing window sashes. So in the insert, she would be continuing to paint the wood trim portion where it touches the brick.
Right, but you're not changing any of the exterior finish wood or trim wood. It's all fitting within that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Sounds good. You're removing all the storms.
Yes.
And there won't be storms afterwards, correct?
That's correct. She has the option of either a half screen or a full screen, up to your choice on that.
Yeah, that's that sounds good. I think this would be an application under appropriateness, Alvin.
Say so.
Okay. Hold on, I'm dropping stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, anything else you'd like to add? I mean, I think you might have heard Brandy earlier that we obviously we continue these to allow for public commentary. And if there's nothing else to add to that, I would entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness, 55 Bellevue Avenue, to replace the windows with the hold on, with this Woodwright 400 series Woodwright windows with exterior grids matching the original grid patterns. Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, I vote yes. Commissioner Belton?
Yes.
Commissioner Mcfarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Okay, so that's continued to allow for public commentaries. On December 2nd, we will have a vote on that. Okay?
Okay, thank you for your time.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Have a
Thank
good night.
you.
Good night, Ms. Gamble.
What's that?
I just said good night, Ms. Gamble.
Oh,
Good night.
okay, next we have application for certificate of hardship at 8791 Central Street. Okay, let me get to the paperwork here. There's lots of enclosures on this one. Proposed change, strip the house, dispose of the old materials, and change any non-structural wood needed to facilitate new siding. Add new Lifetime Designer Series I siding with custom formed backer board in light blue and wrap house and Tyvek deluxe trim package. PVC coated aluminum with A and B bends picture frames and built-in J channels around all windows and doors. Color side to be Mystic Blue. Premium Glacier White is the trim color. Wide corner post in white. Siding will go up but not include ornamental trim below the roof. Ornamental trim to remain in place. New louvered shutters on the home to be shade darker than siding in blue. Add new steps to front porch with pressure treated wood. Install new railings in the style of the 1939 photo. Additional enclosures, example, the areas of the structure to be repaired, sample materials and colors. Okay, who's here with Stacy Morris? Or is someone here with you?
I am. My name is Ed Lynch. I am the owner, and my partner, who is the construction manager, is the other owner.
I'm
And
sorry to interrupt. We do have Commissioner Judy Kroll is now on the call.
Oh, okay, excellent, excellent. All right, let me make a note of that. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
My name's Ed Lynch. I am the owner of Contractor Direct Boost Construction. We're located at 140 Cochran Street in Chicopee, Massachusetts. We do it probably about a 7-mile radius of work, which is all Springfield, Westfield, and we do tons of jobs. We gave you the contract that for your perusal. I also have samples here to show it if you didn't get the pictures of what we'd be doing to their home. What we are going to be doing is, the wood is horrible. Especially a couple of the sides, they're on like a hill and the sun just kills the wood. We're going to be stripping it. We're going to put Tyvek paper around the whole home where we're going to be doing the new siding, but we are going to be keeping all the decorative posts that are on the soffit area and underneath the porches. All the wood, the dark wood from all the historical wood will be kept. We're going to be doing their front porch and pressure treated so it matches up with the posts from pictures from way back when they first started. And we're going to make our home maintenance free. We're also, the insulation that we put on our siding when we strip their home is 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a quarter. I don't know if anybody can see the panel, but it's 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a quarter. It's the color to match what she has right now, so it'll look the same. It'll be the exact same thing, except for the two ladies that are a little bit older, which this is why they're doing it also. Their home will be maintenance free, and it'll be a pretty sight for Springfield to look at.
Okay, so the wood, like the wood trim around the existing windows?
That will be a PVC coated aluminum with Anderson and architectural bends. We do a bend like this, so the siding goes into it, so there's no J channel, so it does not look like siding. It goes in. This is upside down, but it goes in so you do not have the J channel look. So it'll look like it does now, and it'll be 4-inch, so it'll have the colonial old style look, the trim around all of her windows. She's going to be getting louvered shutters, the same colors that she has now, which is just a little bit darker than her existing siding. And everything on the top is going to stay. She's going to keep that to keep the historical look of all the trim that's on top of the house and underneath her porches.
Okay, commissioners? Any questions?
And if there's some come up on the contract estimate that I sent you, you can email me back and I'd be more than happy if something comes up to answer anything you need.
Okay,
so I have a question. Have you've obviously you've done a bunch of these. Have you done one in a historic district before?
I don't think we've done anything in the historical district because we've never had to go through this in Springfield. But we've done work on Berkshire Ave. We've done probably 30 houses. If you want to, if everybody, obviously, most people have Facebook. If you go to Facebook, Boost Construction on Facebook, you'll see the last 47 homes that we've sided in over the last 9 months or so. And they're all within 5 miles of her home.
Yeah, we're not, one thing I don't question is the quality of the work. It's, or the potential that it's, whether it's appropriate under the guidelines of the historic district. Right now, it's not, we may have some questions, but we do have to, because like pressure treated steps is not something that's considered historically appropriate, but neither is vinyl siding, by the way. But, we have to, I want to read through this again. We got to open us up to public commentary, take a drive by the house and and then see what happens. But we're not talking windows here.
Not doing anything except wrapping them to make them maintenance free.
You mean you're wrapping the woodwork,
Yes, sir.
yeah. In general, aluminum wrapping of windows is not considered historically appropriate either. But I like what you showed me there. That's worth taking a closer look at.
And just so you know, on the last thing, again, when this goes around the window, the trim itself goes behind the siding a few inches. So when it goes in, nothing can get behind it. You can't get bugs or anything like that when the siding goes in. And it's also 1/16 of an inch gap. So for any expansion and contraction that might happen, there will never be any buckling and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Lynch, or
anything that you guys would have a question on?
I just
oh, I'm sorry. Hello.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, everybody. When we submitted the paperwork, we did put in for Mystic Blue, but you said that the color Mystic Blue is going to be too light. So you did say that there was a change in the color.
Right. The change is going to be one shade darker on blue, but it's more of the color that you have on the house now.
Yeah,
Because it has faded. It is faded. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Commissioner.
That's okay. You
The
keep right on
sidewalk-
going. We'll figure it out.
Yep, the wood on her home has faded a little bit.
Yeah.
And my construction manager told me over the years of repainting and all that stuff that we need to go one step darker to get the original paint, because when he peeled back some areas that did not get sun and all that stuff, it was a little bit darker. So we went one shade darker on the color, which I can obviously show you.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not worried about the color. Is there any other comments? Okay.
I'm so sorry. I also realized that I submitted information with regard to the railing, which I understand is supposed to be submitted in a separate application. So I will be doing that.
Well, it doesn't have to be in a separate application.
Okay.
Does it say? Let me just read what this says. Okay. Railing, see enclosure 9. Oh, so you're doing replacing the pipe railing?
Yeah.
Okay. Pipe railings are considered to be historically appropriate in most cases.
Yay, at least there's something.
That's one thing, right? One thing. Because there's a lot of decorative things going on here.
And we're trying to keep most of them. 90% of the decorative facets to her home are going to be kept for the historical part of it. The only part that's really being done is the main body of the home to make it so. But she's keeping all the historical stuff on the soffit, the face of the gutters and stuff like that, so it keeps more of the historical look. But we're going to prep it and make sure that it's good for as long a period of time with the least amount of maintenance she'll have to do moving forward with the rest of the stuff.
Okay. All right. I got to take a drive by and take a look at the actual detail of the property. Anyway, thank you for the presentation, and I would entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of hardship at 87-91 Central Street to the December 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Commissioner Belton. Tom? Voting to continue? Voting to continue Central? Okay, Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Judy Crowell?
Yes.
I did it again. I was good last meeting.
Don't worry about it.
Commissioner Walter Kroll.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Walter.
Okay, I learned how to pronounce names here. Anyway, continue to the 2nd for a vote on the December 2nd meeting.
Commissioner Walsh, did you want to do a site visit or just a drive-by is fine?
You know what? Stacy, is it okay if I drive by, but I'd like to take like a closer look and walk around? Is it okay if we call you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And if you need me there, I'm more than happy to come to answer any
Okay,
questions.
well, if I think we do, then we'll call you too, Mr. Lynch, okay?
That's perfect. Thank
Okay.
you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
evening.
Okay. All right. Now we have, this isn't, okay. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness, 39-41 Thompson Street. Construct a new 2,500 square foot duplex, each 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit. Each 3-bedroom, 2-bath bedrooms each unit. See attached for elevations. There's a lot of pictures here. Hopefully you guys got a chance to look at them. Who's on to talk about this one?
And Commissioner Walsh, we do have a letter for this particular matter, but we can read that after the petitioner.
Okay, who's talking on this one?
Mr. Forbes and Mark Wedderburn. Mr. Forbes is the owner.
Okay. Okay.
So, all right, go ahead.
Just tell us what, just kind of describe what's going on.
So we submitted for a building permit for new construction at 3941 Thompson. We were approved for the building permit. The building department, neither the building department or us did not realize. I'm the contractor, by the way, that
I got you. It's okay.
that a portion of the property passes through the historic district. So upon learning that fact, we are working with the planning department and the historic commission in order to make sure our plans are in order. We did some quick redesign to accommodate the items that the historic district were concerned about with regards to our design.
Yep.
I can share my screen with you.
Please do.
What's going on here.
Okay, that would be great.
So this is the a 3D model of the house. We had a smaller porch on the house to begin with. We extended the porch to be a full porch across the front. We've accented the eaves with scallop siding, shingles rather. The windows, we're outlined the windows with 6-inch borders. The exterior of the windows will be black. We have a border around the top third of the house, and as well as halfway down, which is more in line with what the historic district would like us to do.
Okay.
The material I've submitted to my supplier to see what the price is for wood and or a wood look vinyl material. We did not specify which one that we've settled on because we had not gotten a part number or a specification on that material as yet. So we're still waiting on that, but we are trying to pick something that's appropriate for the historic district.
Okay, so steeper roof, hardy plank, visual separate second floor from third, which you have in there. Window casings more substantial, you touched on that. Front doors, you've got those. Okay, well, you're hitting some of this. I'm gonna have to go through it all to see how much of it you're hitting. It looks like you're trying to. Now, what's the porch being built on, the front porch?
What is it being built on?
Yes. What's holding it up?
Oh, there's a piers that's holding it up. Move that back. But we're gonna put our lattices in front, rather. So due to the limitation of my software, wasn't able.
That's okay. Well, it's a good question also. And you've researched what might be a more historically looking lattice?
Sure.
Sure, okay. Any commissioners have any questions of the petitioner? I think I do. Okay, hearing none, I think we do have one letter or email to enter into the record. Alvin, is this the one?
We have a letter from Mr. David Gaby.
Okay.
Do you have that letter?
Is David still on?
Let's see. I believe so.
David is on.
All right, just wondering if you were there. Alvin, do you want to enter that into the record, please?
Sure. Okay, in regards to the proposed duplex at 3941 Thompson Street, greetings. I am writing as a resident of a house that faces on Thompson Street, as well as a preservationist and McKnight resident for several decades. I would note that I first moved to McKnight in 1955 before I was 1 year old. Given that background, I requested and was provided with a copy of the plans for the house now partially completed. I would like to say, as a home designer, that while I am impressed with the completeness of the plans and the detailed frame drawings and so forth, the proposed house is completely alien to the neighborhood architecturally, and that its completion should not be allowed as now projected in the plans. I would further like to say that the defects in the plans cannot be addressed by minor changes like adding a window to the kitchen. Small changes like that are basically irrelevant. What we are ending up with is people enriching themselves by not doing the job of designing and building houses that fit into the community, carrying out projects that will permanently damage our architectural heritage and deprive generations of their birthright. This truly constitutes a sort of cultural genocide. We should stand together and prevent this from happening, perhaps by helping designers and builders do their jobs properly. We have the legal tools needed and we should use them. This design should be thoroughly assessed as to its relationship to the other houses in that section of Thompson Street, which, as you know, is one of the first streets developed by the McKnight brothers. Perhaps, like the neighboring house, an attempt could be made to reference the several Italian houses on the street. If this were to be done carefully, if this were to be done, care would need to be exercised to avoid another flawed effort that does not recognize the different wall heights typical of the 19th century houses. Window sizes and styles should also be reviewed, and plans should be amended to be appropriate. The porch detail should also be closely monitored for its compatibility with local heritage. If the designers and builders and the commission were interested, I would be happy to provide some assistance in revision of the plans on a pro bono basis, but I feel it would be important that clear and definite standards be set for both drawings and for the actual execution of the agreed design. We have too many situations where people have good intentions, but where the final products were not as they should have been. Please do not hesitate to ask any questions that may arise. This is an important issue and I will make time available to address it, and will assist in gathering resources to address this challenge to our community and to the integrity of the Historic District Ordinance. Sincerely yours, David P. Gaby.
Okay, thanks, Alvin.
Yep.
Okay, is there anything else you've received regarding commentary on this one?
Nope, and again, I did give the design guidelines that Shannon Walsh of Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, and I kind of went through the with the property owner and the contractor.
Okay.
And,
all right, so is there anything else anybody would like to add? Any commissioners have any questions of the petitioners? And I entertain a motion to continue the application for a certificate of appropriateness in 39-41 Thompson Street regarding the construction of a new duplex to the December 2nd meeting.
Can I make a statement?
Sure.
So there are two lots that abut each other that we applied for permits for.
Right.
The lot, well, the lots are behind the new Pride gas station. The lot closest to the gas station is not in historic, it's not within the historic district.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have Google Earth up, and I mean, not Google, but the GIST, graphical interface system, information system for Springfield. I could show you if you guys would like.
Yeah, no, I think we discussed this recently, didn't we? That one of these lots was not
Right.
in the historic district. But go ahead. What are you trying?
So that's the house that is partially complete at this point. The other house was never started. So he made mention that the house is partially complete. The house has not been started.
Okay, the one in the historic district has not been started.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I thank you for clarifying that.
Also, I would also like to even further ask if so we have the foundation guys on site, and we would like to get started on this project, at least get the foundation in before the winter time. The problem is mainly, as far as we can see, is with the finishes. So if possible, we would like to continue.
Well, we actually can't make that type of decision in this format, or with the historic commission can't make that decision. All we can do is decide whether it's historically appropriate, and unfortunately, it's something we can't even. I could take a vote on it, and people could say, "Yeah, go ahead," but you know what? It's not what our purview is. We actually cannot do that for you. The best we can do is continue it to the second. And for foundation, there are some foundation issues relative to historic properties too. So make sure that you've looked those up in consideration of those too. They're usually a higher foundation than something you might build new. Not in a historic district. I wish I could help you with that particular point, but I can't. Any other comments? Go ahead if you'd like.
That's all as far as, well, yeah.
No, I mean, I was actually speaking to
the commission, I'm sorry.
To the either commissioners or to Mr. Forbes. Whoever was just speaking, I'm not sure who was who.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can't make any statement on that, then I guess it doesn't matter.
No, we can't. It's just not. It's not in our purview. It's only the whether it's appropriate, visually appropriate in design and material appropriate to the historic district. So I wish I could help you with that, but I can't. But if we move, we have to continue it to the next meeting on the 2nd anyways, in order to allow for public commentary. And so I'm going to do that right now. I can see by the list of things that your design is, you are trying to deal with that list of things, and it looks like you've covered quite a few of them. I'm going to have to look at it all to see if there's any others that come up, but I appreciate the effort that you're making to make this house more historic before you build it. So yeah, in that we've got a motion on the table to continue to the December 2nd meeting, only waiting for a vote unless there's any other commentary on that. So let me call the vote.
Commissioner McFarland has a hand up. I just want to make sure he doesn't have a comment.
He does? Oh, there he is. Go ahead, Brian.
Yes, I just had a quick question for. So if I understand correctly, you have 2 lots on Thompson Street.
Correct.
One is in a historic district and one is not. And you would like to put a duplex on each of the lots, correct?
Correct.
Are the duplexes going to match the one outside the historical, local historic district, and then the one on the inside, or are they 2 different models? I'm just curious.
There are 2 different models at this point. We already got going on one of them. The other one, I can share my screen with you if you'd like to see. I have that one up as well.
No, it's outside the purview. I was just curious. Thank you for the indulgence, sir.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So let me call the vote to continue. Commissioner, let me see, who gets to start this one? Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll.
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Walsh is yes. Commissioner Belton,
Yes.
and Commissioner McFarland.
Yes.
Okay, so we've continued that to the December 2nd hearing date.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Walsh, we just have one other unresolved public hearing matter on 92 Ferglade Ave. They have not, it doesn't look like they've joined us, so you guys may just want to make a vote to continue the matter to the next meeting.
Okay, then why don't I do that? They haven't joined us. It's an application for certificate of, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness at 92 Ferglade to the December 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Where's Ferglade?
So I just blasted these guys.
David, are you talking to us?
No, I'm not.
Okay, if you could just mute, it'd be great. Okay, so is there any discussion on the motion to continue 92 Ferglade? Okay, Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Belton?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. Commissioner Walter Kroll?
Yes.
And Commissioner Judith Kroll?
Yes.
All right, thank you. We continue that to December 2nd. All right, where does that put us? That puts us on a section 106 review, reconstruction of Sumner Avenue at Dickinson Street, Belmont Avenue. Did anybody get a chance to look at those pictures? Commissioners?
Yes, I have looked at them, yes.
Okay. So this is so this is just whether it has no adverse impact to any particular structural historic significance is what this is about. So this doesn't have to be continued. Alvin, do you have any of those pictures? Anybody would like to speak on this? Steve, would you like to talk? Go right ahead.
I can certainly speak to the project. My name is Steve Severia. I'm Senior Project Manager with the firm of Fuss and O'Neill. We're at 1550 Main Street, Springfield. We have been retained by Springfield DPW as the designers of this project for a program of traffic safety, pedestrian and bicycle access, and utilities and infrastructure improvements to the area surrounding the X intersection in Forest Park, including parts of Sumner Avenue, Belmont Avenue, and Dickinson Street, and Ormond Street and Oakland Street. The project is subject to Section 106 review because it will be constructed by Massachusetts Department of Transportation using state and federal transportation improvement funds, and it's programmed to be constructed during 2023. We are currently in the Mass DOT project development process, so it has been through one level of review at 25%. We just submitted 75% plans last week, which are going to be continuing to be under review. Everything has to be designed in accordance with Mass DOT and federal highway standards. And and Mass DOT needs to approve the project before it can proceed to construction. As far as the historic district is concerned, the actual impacts to historic properties abutting Sumner Avenue will be confined to temporary impacts related to the reconstruction of sidewalks in front of these properties. The existing sidewalks are right up to the street line or right up to the front property line of those properties. And so as those sidewalks get reconstructed, there will be temporary, construction impacts to the private properties that will all be, they'll all be restored to in kind with whatever the existing conditions are there, be it lawns or driveways or walkways or steps or whatever is there that is impacted by the construction. But there will need to be temporary easement rights obtained by the city over the fronts of those properties, probably 5 feet into the private property, just to allow the contractors access to reconstruct those sidewalks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those don't sound like there's any adverse impact there. Part of the, that, Chris, the X isn't. I'm not even sure if is the X all underground utilities?
For the most part,
isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, that's part of what, it would be. That's one of the things that would adverse if all of a sudden they were not going to be underground, if everything was going to be above ground and they were bringing utilities out and things like that. Alvin, can you put a picture up of what this is, the proposed, that one you sent today to us? Okay. So, well, that's quite a thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a major investment. It's going to be upwards of $10 million for this entire project.
Yeah.
Well, I see that's a change. I'm just looking at taking off the almost like bisecting Belmont Avenue completely.
Yes.
Yeah, the intent of the project is that you will no longer be able to drive through the X on Belmont Avenue. Belmont Avenue is going to be converted to one-way, away from Sumner Avenue, and the trips through the through traffic on Belmont Ave will be rerouted to the other intersections.
Wow. Okay. But there's no, I don't know. I don't see any issue there. Any commissioners see any issues under the 106 here?
I had initially thought, I thought there was a bike path that was going to be placed in there, and I just wanted more information about this bike path.
There originally was, as part of the preliminary design, there was a path that was intended to traverse actually through Forest Park from the end of Cliftwood Street,
right,
and coming out onto Sumner Avenue near Oakland Street. There were significant right-of-way issues raised by Mass DOT in their review of the 25% plans that have, as part of this, because the federal highway has certain rules about having a dedicated right-of-way or easement for anything that is constructed as a transportation improvement using federal funding. And so it would have to have a different set of conditions for access over that right of way that might be different from what the current use of the park is legally. And so we haven't resolved if it in fact was a conversion of the park land to some other kind of use, then that would get into a whole other set of reviews. And since it hasn't been determined exactly what the status of that is at the moment, we have taken it off the plans. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be added back in. It's just that we didn't want to make the submission to Mass DOT with a part of the project that was kind of in question.
Right.
Is this I'm sorry, is this the Forest Park project as well? Because I know Mass DOT is doing a Forest Park project.
Right.
This isn't related into any current project in Forest Park, no.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Anything else, Judy?
Yeah, you're going, so my concern is, it sounds like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're going to do the easements and expand Sumner Avenue in certain points that are in the historical district?
Well, the expansion of Sumner Avenue is really pretty minor. Well, at 25% when we submitted these plans, it was proposed that Sumner Avenue was in this section west of the X was going to be widened from its current width of 55 feet to 64 feet. And that was mostly so that we could put bicycle lanes on Sumner Avenue.
Okay.
We had a public hearing at the Forest Park Middle School in, I think, September of 2019. And the Forest Park Civic Association came out very much opposed to that amount of widening of Sumner Avenue.
Yeah.
But we're still under a requirement on both federal highway and Mass DOT policy standards to provide bicycle facilities in the corridor. That's a condition of the application of the funding for construction.
Okay.
And so what has been proposed instead is that the widening is going to be reduced down to 58 feet. So basically the curbs are moving out about 1.5 feet on either side. And then the sidewalks are going to be widened on the street side, and in other words, away from the properties, from their current width of 6 feet to 8 feet.
Okay.
And so basically what you will have is kind of a shared use path that could be used by bicycles or pedestrians on either side of Sumner Avenue, but the actual width of the pavement is not going to be that much different.
Okay. And one more question. Will there just be a line in the street, or are you going to put up the bike posts?
Well, there will be no bicycle lanes on Sumner Avenue in this section west of the X. There will be there'll be a 2-foot shoulder. Alvin, I think if you can zoom in, we'll get a clearer picture.
And let me explain. I'm only asking because my mother lives in Mattapan, and they put these bike lanes in on Cummins Highway with these bike posts. And the city actually just removed them a couple of months ago because it was just too much. It just caused too much congestion on Cummins Highway. So I was just I just don't know if I would like to see those posts up there prohibiting, anyone crossing over. That's my real main concern.
Yeah, so there were 5-foot bicycle lanes proposed in this section. And actually, as you go east of Cliffwood, you can see that those green lanes are actually bicycle lanes.
Yeah.
That end at Cliffwood Street and don't continue on. But that's just flush pavement with the rest of the street. There are striped. They're demarcated by pavement markings, and there's no posts or any kind of vertical element to them.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Could you zoom that out a little bit for me there, Alvin? Couple more clicks. That's good. So back to the idea of whether it has a potential adverse impact. I happen to think it doesn't have an adverse impact. I mean, we're not putting signage that shouldn't be there, where there's nothing. Obviously, there's going to be lots of plantings and things like that going on. Any street lamps being replaced? Some of those, I'm not sure how far those nice new ones come down, but I'm sure they'd be replaced with the same thing.
Yeah, all of the existing street lighting is going to need to be replaced, but the ornamental lights that they have now, kind of down towards Forest Park, are no longer available. That whole system is owned by EverSource. It's not owned by the city.
Really?
And so they will be replaced with types of lights that EverSource now provide.
Well, that could have a.
Would that be the quote unquote Cobra head standard streetlight?
I believe that's what the city prefers to use now, because a lot of these ornamental, different kinds of ornamental luminaires that they have around the city, there's a lot of different kinds. It's a really serious maintenance issue for the city, having to, have parts on hand, and like I said, they're all owned by EverSource, and EverSource doesn't actually supply those kinds of lights. Yeah,
I don't want to support them. I don't like them.
Well, and those ornamental ones didn't come down this far anyways. I don't think.
They don't go into the X, no.
Okay. Any other commissioners have any questions? I'd entertain a motion.
I don't feel comfortable voting on this tonight. I would like to allow a continuance for public commentary, as well as to do some research myself. It's a very, very big project that I don't think I've myself have given it the due diligence that it deserves. So
this project isn't a public hearing. So again, I guess the contractors are looking for just comments.
Yeah, the process that we're in is that, and a letter went out, I think in 2018, that went to Scott Hansen, I believe, that is just soliciting comments. That is all what the process that we're in right now. So, and the comments go back to Mass DOT, and Alvin has a copy of the letter and the address, and it's that's pretty much the extent of the and then it's up to the Mass DOT Cultural Resources Unit and the Mass Historical Commission to make their finding of no adverse impact.
Mr. Shivari, is there a date, or Alvin, is there a date when the comments have to be in by?
Well, we'd like to have them obviously as early in the process as possible, to the extent that there may be something that actually affects the design of the project.
Well, I guess my question is, are we up against a coming deadline, a rapidly coming deadline?
No, there isn't a hard and fast deadline. Like I said, the 75% plans were just, which are final plans, were just submitted. The DOT will go through their review, which will take a minimum of 90 days before we get comments back from them. But there are more stages to this project development process that we need to go through. And like I said, it won't be actually ready for construction until 2023.
Okay, thank you. Well, Alvin, I understand that we're not in a public hearing situation. I would allow Commissioner Mcfarland to make a motion if he would like more time, and the commissioners would vote that it be continued to the next meeting. We can have that motion and we can vote it up or we can vote it down.
I would very much appreciate it, just for my own due diligence. I would like to look at this just a little bit more before I would feel comfortable.
Go make the motion, Brian.
So I'd like to make a motion to continue this matter until the next meeting.
Is your second?
I second.
Okay. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll start with Commissioner Judith Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walter Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh says yes, Commissioner Belton,
Yes.
and Commissioner McFarland.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I had a question for Mr. Severia. So again, this is not a final plan. This is, there would be further plans down the line that you would have to come back to the commission with?
No, we will not be soliciting any further input. I mean, this is basically, we're requesting comment from the commission, that it gets relayed to Mass DOT and becomes part of their historic review of the project.
Well, we'll have that for you in the, it's close to shortly after the next meeting,
Right.
I'm sure. Okay. So we've continued that, and we'll bring it up at the next meeting. Hopefully we'll have seen what we need to see in order to send the comments from the commission to everybody else.
And I would just offer that if there are any questions that the commission has, if you can forward them through Alvin, and he knows how to get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to answer.
Absolutely. Thank you for offering. Okay, not last, let's see. We have a 1 Allen Street, another section 106 review, so adverse effect or not on an antenna installation. We've heard from 1 Allen Street in the past. I think this is just a replacement. Is someone here to talk on that? Nope, there's no one here. What do we know about it, Alvin?
I don't really have too much information. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at the cover page now. It looks like states our client proposes to install new antennas at a center line height of 70 feet on a 70-foot building.
Yep.
Yeah, with an overall building height of 74 feet. No ground disturbance is proposed. This building is an existing telecommunications facility.
Right, the existing antennas are going to remain. I found the page here, just so many pages.
Yeah.
So it's already got antennas. They just want to add a couple of antennas. Let's see what this one says. Existing antennas, one existing diplexers, existing something else, proposed, right? Well, the proposed antennas, they're not going to be any higher. They're just going to stick out a little more, it looks like, according to this rendering. Okay. I mean, there's already a bunch of antennas up there, so I don't know. I don't think they're going to make it any worse.
Yeah, in the past, you guys have allowed them or stated, no adverse impact so long as a color of the, color of the building or a brown color to match the brick. So if you guys do render a decision, I would just, ask you guys to add the color.
Okay, I'm not sure what's there color-wise or anything. I just know that I know that building's got a lot of stuff around it. Any questions from any of the commissioners?
No.
Guys are all awful quiet today. Okay, well, neither do I. So I'd entertain a motion that we indicated would have no adverse impact as long as that the color was appropriate to what's already installed, I guess, or matches what's already there. Are we moving that or no?
So moved.
Or unless somebody wants to rephrase the motion any other way. Okay, there's a motion and a second that there's no increase. I should have probably no increased adverse impact, but I didn't. Any discussion on the motion?
No.
Anybody? No? Okay. Let me start at the bottom this time. Commissioner Walter Kroll?
Right at the bottom, yes.
Yep. Commissioner Judith Kroll?
Yes.
Wait a minute, did you say yes or no, Walter?
Walter said yes. Not
Okay.
that I'm there, but he
She
did.
speaks
say
for
yes.
me, yes.
Yes, I speak for him.
Commissioner Mcfarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Belton?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh says yes. Okay, no adverse. Update on the 120 Harvard Street non-compliance unapproved replacement windows.
So I did hear back from the property owner. He has submitted an application which will come before you guys on December 2nd.
Okay. And is there anything on 121 Dartmouth Terrace?
I'm going to link up with Attorney Shuchuk and get him the information that he needs.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we all set? Is there anything else anybody would like to add? Oh, before anybody goes, Alvin, what were we suggesting, or not suggesting, but what were we discussing about when they want us to move back to live meetings?
So I'm being
Is that
told,
potentially January or February? Is that what you said?
so City Council is going back to regular meetings in January.
Yeah.
And so I've been asked by my director to, kind of see how things go with the City Council and potentially go back to regular meetings in February for the Historical Commission.
Okay, now there was one change that was, I'm not sure who even brought it up, but part of the change was that instead of meeting at City Hall, that we meet at on Tapley Street, and I'm all in favor of that. They have plenty of room there. I think it's easier parking, it's easier access. But those are the things. It's not on the table tonight. I just wanted to let you know, I can't wait to return to live meetings so that everything doesn't have to be heard twice. And and sometimes it's easier to get ideas of what people are really thinking and renderings, and they bring stuff in and they show you what's going on, and we can eliminate some of the duplicity here. Although I'm certainly glad that we have, we can do it this way for now. So hopefully in a couple months we go back to live and you'll get to see this face in person. Go ahead, Walter.
I actually had one question for Alvin. I had somebody ask me about house on Clarendon Street, corner of Clarendon, and it's not quite Clarendon and St. James, but I haven't heard anything on it since I've been on the council, but I know in years past there's been issues with that parcel. Is there some ongoing issue with compliance and offense or compliance of any kind?
So you're talking about the house with the tall white vinyl fence?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was adjacent to the previous church
Yep.
that's now gone. So Attorney Shuchuk and I have sent letters. I'm not sure where we stand on that. But again, I've sent several stop work orders. I've talked to the property owner and she's just been defiant. I sent it to Attorney Shuchuk. I'm not sure if he's gotten any sort of response.
No, I haven't gotten a response at all.
So I'm not sure if, again, we've made several attempts. I'm not sure if this is something that you guys want to move to a court matter or.
It's just the white vinyl fence issue.
So the fence goes beyond her foundation line, which is why I gave her a stop work order.
With
It
the
also,
fence, it's not the fence isn't appropriate anyways, is it?
no,
No, it's not.
Like an 8-foot white vinyl fence. It's giant and you can see it from the street. It's beautiful, but it pokes dry out.
If we don't take some action, in my most humble opinion, if we don't take some action once in a while, we've already got people thinking that we're not going to take action.
Yeah.
I think they can just do it somewhere. I don't know where push comes to shove, but I don't think we should just drop it. There still has to be the potential, because if there's no potential of enforcement, then we're meeting for
No reason, yeah.
Well, because it's not on the agenda tonight, I can certainly put on the next agenda. You guys can decide at the
That
next
would be
meeting.
awesome. Put that on the next agenda. And
Would you like me to send a letter like tomorrow or within the next couple of days? Say basically get back to us and contact us, or just send them another letter at all.
Absolutely.
I'll send it certified and we'll see if they even.
And
sign
and
for
I
it.
also think we need to be fair. I mean, I haven't seen this here, but if it's been ongoing, I mean, we're taking action on the guy on Dartmouth Terrace.
Yeah.
If this person has been non-compliant, then I think we need to treat them the same.
Yeah,
Because they're-
treat everyone equally.
Well, I agree. Anyway, anything else, anybody?
Well, I don't know if anyone's been to 299 Page, but that might be another place you may want to consider having the meetings. It's the old Smith and Wesson. It's very nice, very modern. They have a huge room, and it's Zoom access if people want to come on Zoom. So it's something to think about.
Well,
For the reason I really wanted to have it here at 70 Tapley, one, I'm stationed here.
and it's a big room too.
Yes, we do have a sizable conference room with several chairs, and I can, if we want to do a hybrid, if folks don't feel comfortable coming in, we can do a Zoom in the room, and we have a large screen. So for me, it works out, and then I don't have to, go down to the.
I think compared to City Hall, I think it's better anyway.
City Hall's pretty nice. City Hall's pretty
City
nice.
Hall is very nice.
You have to drive very
But
far.
I was talking.
They got Roman numerals on it.
Let me guess, whose
Page
offices
Boulevard.
are in City Hall?
No, I was talking Page Boulevard, but
No, I know, I understand. I'm
Tapley
just
Street is
joking.
good. Tapley Street
I
is
will,
good.
I
get
have
it.
no
Tapley Street is very nice. I
have no
Tapley
real
Street is
fight
nice.
here. I will show up wherever a meeting happens. I didn't mind coming down.
Tapley Street,
I don't mind.
That's because
Anyway,
Walsh is around the corner.
Right, and we can always
On the way,
decide
baby.
different too, down the road to see how it goes, but we don't want to move too much, but I think that since it's been so long, since it's been at City Hall, if we're gonna move somewhere, this is the time to do it.
To make it.
Yeah, the parking at City Hall is a disaster. So
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
ended up parking at the
you still have to
casino
pay
one
from
night.
5 to 6. So I would go with
Well, the time will have to get later.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I want to go back to 6:30 though. Wasn't it
Yeah, I mean,
6:30?
that was our typical time frame, 6:30, but again, that would be up for you guys. So we could put, I can put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah,
if you guys
put all
wanna-
that stuff on. We'll talk about it then. In the meantime, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn because I'm ready.
So moved.
All in favor?
Second. Aye.